MTG Scoundrels, it's in the cardboard. Ladies and gentlemen, scoundrels of all ages, welcome back to another episode of Modern Weekly. Today on the docket, we have green Eldrazi Tron versus Elementals. Getting things started here with a Urza's Tower into an expedition map and passing the turn. Misty Rainforest, passing the turn. There is an Eldrazi Temple and passing. Misty Rainforest going to get activated on end step. To go fetch a blue or green source here. Looks like a Temple Garden. Coming in tap, so that'll bring us to 20 to 19. Untapping, drawing. There is a hedge maze. Surveilling. Will we see this go to the bin, or will we see it stay on top? Going to the bin. Cracking the map on end step. A lot of times you'll see finding a Tron piece here. Well, that could be the case. No, it looks like grabbing an Eldrazi Temple. It's all depending on whether they already had a Tron piece in hand, I would assume. At times it's better to just accelerate. So the temple will go to hand. Ooh, it looks like there's a second tower in hand. There's a World Breaker. And it'll just be E-Temple pass. Clearly holding up K command. Plays a Sacred Foundry, untapped, and an Overlord of the Hauntwood variety, which will make a land on ETB. Specifically one that's all types. And here is a Kozilek's Command. Also, apologies earlier, I said Sacred Foundry. That is in fact a breeding pool. K command, making 3 dudes, scrying 3, drawing 1. Two to the bottom, 1 on top. Looks like keeping the talisman on top. Untapping, drawing. There is an Urza's Mine. 2 mana for a talisman. And there is a World Breaker. Could have kept a spawn out. But that'll bring us to 19 to 17. It's going to exile the land the Hauntwood made. So Wild Eagle Plague should have kept the spawn. There's 3 mana. There's a Nissa Resurgent Animist. And a Misty Rainforest triggering the Nissa. Making a mana. Cracking the Misty Rainforest. Finding an island. That'll trigger Nissa again. There's a Voice of Resurgence found off the Nissa. And into a Risen Reef. Risen Reef will trigger. Not a land, it'll go to hand. Passing the turn. Tron online with the power plant. Risen Reef going to get in the way of the World Breaker. And there is a Sire of 7 Deaths. This is the point of the game where Eldrazi Tron just starts landing haymakers. Land for turn, trigger Nissa. Five mana, Solitude. That'll exile the World Breaker, bringing us to 24 to 16. And passing the turn. There's another tower. Sire 7 Deaths will get in. Sire does in fact have Menace. Lifelink, Vigilance, First Strike, Trample, Ward 7. Taking the 7 here. Going to 31 to 9. And there is the second Sire 7 Deaths. Only 2 lands in hand, though, for the Eldrazi Tron player. Tough spot here. Not a lot of ways around 2 Sire 7 deaths. One might even count it as 14 deaths. But here we are, 3 mana. Deputy of Detention. Okay, that's a way to get rid of 2 for the price of 1. That'll exile both sires, lose 7 life, go to 31 to 2. Attacking in for 6. That'll bring us to 25 to 5. After the lifelink of the Solitude. There's a tap Sacred Foundry. So the mana off the Nissa of the Sacred Foundry entering, plus mana off the Breeding Pool. We'll cast a Felia and pass the turn. Ooh, there's a top deck Dismember. That's rough. 4 life for my Sire's back. Solid trade. Another tower. Mana not a problem at this point. And passing the turn. Alright, let's see if an answer is found here. Drawing for turn. Plenty of mana. And your Overlord is online. There's 3 mana for a Risen Reef. It's a land, it'll come into play tapped. There's a Flamekin Harbinger. I'll go find an elemental. In this case, a Solitude. So that's a way to try to gain life. To survive. Being that both these sires have lifelink, First Strike, and Trample, and Vigilance. Makes blocking very difficult. Failure, I guess attacking in. Sire's going to block. I'll be 28 to 5. Overlord will come back with a land, trigger the Nissa on the end step. The turn will be passed. We will start with Sires getting in. And Endurance will be flashed in, targeting the Eldrazi Tron player. And of course, Risen Reef being triggered there as well, with an elemental coming in. So now we will see multiple blocks. Stacking as such. So the Overlord will stay, the Flamekin will stay, and the rest will die. That'll be a 14-point life gain for the Eldrazi Tron player, bringing us to 42-5. Oh, guess the Nissa won't die here. And there is a Chalice of the Void. For 10 mana, so for X equals 5, in response, Solitude, exiling Ophelia will come in. Looks like exiling the Nissa to gain 3 life. That Solitude should not be on the board, though I don't think it really matters. There's a Voice of Resurgence. And scooping them up from there. Game 1, going to Green Eldrazi Tron. Thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend. We're on our march to 500 and 1,000 subscribers, so definitely sub below, like the video, click the bell to get notifications of when new videos come up. Our new stuff comes out generally on Sunday evenings, so we hope to see you there. Moving into sideboard decisions. In terms of this list, I think the Eldrazi Tron's only bringing in All Is Dust, just to be able to clear the board, as it is the most effective sweeper you can bring in. And the rest of the board generally is, in fact, things to go fetch, though I do see a couple of Ulamogs in there, so that's spicy. But generally, the sideboard is just fetchables for Karn. The Elementals deck probably bringing in some amount of interaction and adjusting the deck to be less susceptible to stuff such as Torpor Orb would be my guess. And also just ways to deal with Sire at a cheaper mana cost earlier. Moving into our ads, definitely check out our friends over at Arcane Artistry. They make wonderful food, clue, and treasure tokens in a stained glass style. Check out the description below for a link to their Etsy. And if you want to see the tokens in action, generally we have them here on the channel. But also, check out EDH Hijinks, as well as the Spike Feeders, to see those beautiful tokens. And of course, check out host of our channel and sponsor of our channel, Grove Warden Games, a wonderful place to storm out. Their links to their card selection as well as their storefront are in the description below. Check out our friend Sean Gerard, artist of this channel. QR code up on the screen for their information, as well as their email in the description below. They make wonderful art, and they are open to new projects, whether you're looking for gifts for friends or if you're looking for art in a professional setting. Definitely check Sean out. And last but not least, definitely check our socials. We are at MTG Scoundrels over on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Facebook. Definitely interact with us there, where we talk about mostly modern Magic the Gathering. And we are always willing to hear from you guys, and we appreciate hearing from you guys. So definitely check out our socials. And leave a comment in the description as well. All right, we are close to moving on to game number 2 here. Looks like the elementals list going to 6. And the Eldrazi Tron deck has a pregame action, it looks like. One at the bottom, revealing the Devourer. Not a bad hand. And we will see. Well, saw the card already, but we'll go ahead and let that pass. Commander players, am I right? Starting off with a Flooded Strand. That's going to get cracked. Let's see, going to 19 here. And it looks like they're going to pass after the crack. So, Devourer trigger. Okay. 2 Tron pieces, an E-Temple, and an All Is Dust. Putting the E-Temple on top, exiling those 3. Drawing for turn. Looks like imprinting the World Breaker there to the Ugin's Lab into a Talisman and passing. One of the better starts he can have. Opens up 4 mana on turn 2. Hallowed Fountain tapped and passing. Alright, there's an Eldrazi Temple into a Karn the Great Creator. And minusing to find the Torpor Orb, which does a lot to stop this list. Having Torpor Orb on turn 3 is pretty huge. Looks like forgot to sleeve it up. Amateur move by the Eldrazi Tron player. There's a Sacred Foundry. Apologies for the glare. Into a Nissa. Untapping, drawing. real question is, do you play out the Torpor Orb now? Or do you try to double spell? Looks like taking a damage off of the talisman. With 1 mana floating, finding the Sowing Mycospawn. In this case, not exiling anything because it is not being kicked. But we'll find an Ugin's Labyrinth. Ugin's Lab will come in with the Devour underneath it, and then casting the Torpor Orb. And there's an uptick from the Karn, and passing the turn. Tough business here for the Elementals player. Passing the turn. The E-Tron player consulting the sideboard. Finding liquid metal coating. Into a Sire of 7 Deaths. Attacking in with the Sowing Mycospawn. The Nissa going to block. Passing the turn. On end step, there's a Destroy Evil standard all-star. Taking 7, killing the Sire. And there is another Nissa. Ooh, second Karn in hand. I'm going to start with the Devourer of Destiny, though. Then I'll exile the Nissa. And then uptick the Karn. Ooh, that talisman should be tapped. Though, judging by that hand, it doesn't really matter too much. There's a Voice of Resurgence. And passing. There is liquid metal coating. Targeting a land. And destroying it with the Karn's uptick. Attacking him for 6. Voice of Resurgence will get in front of that. When it dies, it'll make an elemental token. And passing the turn. And scooping him up from there, that is game, set, match for green Eldrazi Tron. Thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend, and we will see you all next week.